Hello, my name is Ivy, 18 years old. I accidentally put my sister in jail. How horrible. I didn't mean to do that. My sister and I used to be inseparable until an unexpected event happened and changed everything. If someone asked me what I am most proud of, I would say that it is family. My dad is a director of a large furniture company. He's successful and admired by many people. My mom is the best woman on earth, but she isn't blessed with health. She was born with heart disease and can't walk on her own. But never once did she show any negative emotion. My mother is always smiling and friendly with everyone. I also have one older sister. Her name is Laura, 7 years older than me. Other than sharing the same DNA, there doesn't seem to be anything in common between us. Laura is a cautious person. She always considers every matter carefully before making any decision. Perhaps because of that, even though she was only 25 years old, my sister became the manager of a famous restaurant. As for me, I've always been hot-tempered and act on emotion. Despite the big differences in personality, my sister and I were still very close. Laura always loves and protects me. I'm lucky to live in such a happy family. However, unexpectedly, the pride I have for my family was quickly destroyed on my dad's birthday. Every year on my father's birthday, my family would hold a small party at a restaurant. But this year, Mom and I had another plan. We wanted to give him a special thank you party for always being a good husband and great dad. We decided to have a big party at home and invite some close family friends. Being a restaurant manager, organizing a surprise party was Laura's specialty. As for me, I would be in charge of preparing a meaningful gift for my dad, and I quickly found the right gift. It was his favorite watch. I could vividly remember my dad's sad expression when he broke the watch my grandfather gave him. It has a special meaning to my dad, and he had tried to fix it for years but failed. The watch is too old and it was too difficult to find spare parts. Fortunately, after a long while, I had finally found someone who could fix my dad's watch. Because I was so excited about my gift, instead of waiting for my dad to come home, I took it straight to his company to make a surprise. I couldn't wait to see the joy on my father's face. However, contrary to my initial expectation, what I saw was appalling. As soon as I got to my dad's company, I caught sight of him leading a young girl to his car. They looked very intimate. What the hell was going on? What kind of a relationship did they have? When I didn't know how to react to this, the car suddenly drove away. Immediately, I called a taxi and followed them. All the way in the car, I kept questioning whether my dad was having an affair. He could not be a cheater. I trusted my dad. However, my last bit of faith was broken when I saw his car stop in front of a hotel. My father and the other woman got out of the car and walked inside with a very excited expression. I was dumbfounded to see that. Now, I'm pretty sure my dad had an affair. I returned home with tears in my eyes. I wanted to tell Mom everything, but when I saw her and Laura happily preparing the surprise party, I stopped short. I didn't want to take away this happy moment from them the way Dad did to me. Also, with my mom's heart condition, I wasn't sure if she could bear the shock of being betrayed by her happily married for 25 years husband. After thinking for a while, I decided that I would keep my father's secret to myself. That evening, the birthday party went on as planned. My dad came home and acted as everything was normal. Seeing him with no regrets after the bad things he did made me extremely angry. During the party, I always showed an annoyed attitude and didn't even bother to speak a word with Dad. When we took a family picture, I tried to stand far away from him and threw his hand away when my dad was about to put his hand on my shoulder. While the party was still going on, I couldn't bear it and rushed to my room. I didn't want to see my bad dad anymore. At that moment, I heard a knock on the door. Laura stood in front of my room with an annoyed expression. She noticed my irregularities at the party and scolded me for being impolite in front of the guest. I couldn't take it anymore and cried. I told her all about the woman who was with my father that day. As usual, Laura maintained a cautious attitude. After hearing my story, she assumed that I was too hasty to conclude that our father was having an affair. That woman was Miss Kim, my father's new secretary. Laura knew her because she met her several times when she went to Dad's company. So, most likely, they were just going to the hotel to meet a partner. Laura's deduction made me think again. I hoped her guess was true and what I thought about Dad was completely false. But just to be sure, Laura and I decided to secretly watch our dad to find the correct answer. And soon after, in just a few days, we began to notice Dad's irregularities. That evening, he told us and Mom that the company had an urgent business and he needed to take care of it. But the cheerful look on his face when he left the house made Laura and me very suspicious. We decided to follow him in our car. After about 30 minutes of driving, our dad stopped in front of a small house. He never went to the company as he told us. From inside the house, a woman came out to greet him, none other than Secretary Kim, who entered the hotel with my father a few days ago. With her thin pajamas on and her affectionate gesture to my dad, Laura couldn't deny our father's cheating. We sat in silence in the car for a long time. Both my sister and I understood that something terrible was happening to our family. Laura broke the silence first. She wanted me to keep this from Mom. With her heart disease, she wouldn't be able to tolerate this. Laura would solve this problem herself. I knew she wanted nothing but the best for me, but as a member of the family, I also had my responsibility. I firmly decided to join Laura. There was no other way. She reluctantly agreed. A few days later, while Dad was away on a business trip, my sister and I went to Secretary Kim's house. As soon as she saw us, she panicked a little, but she quickly regained her composure and invited us into the house. Apparently, she understood the reason we were there as well. Just as she was about to open her mouth, Laura handed her a suitcase. "Take this and leave forever," Laura said coldly. Secretary Kim slowly opened the suitcase. There was a huge amount of cash inside, but despite our offer, she was determined not to accept the money. Kim told us that she truly loved my father. Although they knew it was wrong, they couldn't give up on their love affair. How shameless. What she called love was destroying my family, ruining my mother's happiness. I got furious and slapped her hard. Laura hurriedly stopped me in a panic. She turned around and tried to talk to the other woman, even begged her. But no matter what, Kim kept her mind. With no other choice, we left in frustration. I couldn't lose to that woman. In order to protect my family's happiness, I looked for ways to make her falter. However, I couldn't have imagined that my plan was not only unsuccessful, but it also left my sister in big trouble. I accidentally put her in jail. What had happened? If you're interested in my story, please watch the next video.